I do stuff like... Which wouldn't be immediate, but would immediately stand out as, like, for example, I'd find, like, a photo of a wrestler who's mostly new. And we are live. Hello. So I did a little bit of stuff off stream, like nothing huge. Hey. So I'm sure that you heard about iDubbbz is like... Oh, I thought I'd like hit an invisible wall for a second. I was like, what? But anyways, I'm sure you heard about like... Oh, that's pretty neat. Like, I'll admit I haven't heard that name, but hey, at least if they're able to sign new talents, I would say that that's like a good sign. But anyways, you probably saw how iDubbbz made his content cop on Ethan Klein. Like, I haven't watched it, but honestly, I kind of feel that, like, there could have been a much better choice because, well, the thing is, iDubbbz is kind of like taking flack from, like, from people who were, like, into the former style of content cop, which I'll admit I didn't watch back in the day, but, like, I don't hate the guy per se, but like I do feel that he could have handled things much better. Like instead of just like outright deleting everything, I think what he should have done was this. This should have just made a video saying, look guys, I just don't think I have this in me anymore. But that being said, if you guys want to watch the old stuff, I'll leave it up. Like, strike a reasonable compromise so that at least people can, like, relive your videos and also give you some money while you're at it. Like, honestly, I feel that what he should have done was go after, like, an IRL stream. Was one of two things. The first would be go after, like, one of the IRL streamers. Go after someone who's, like, not as well covered. Like, you know Cheezer, that IRL streamer who, like, got in trouble because of, like, some pretty pedophilic comments he made on stream? Yeah, I didn't watch the old comment comp back in the day, but like I can definitely see that. Like, regardless of my thoughts on Ethan Klein, Items just hasn't made a new content comp in a while. Like, if it was like he had a script written on Ethan Klein back from like when he was in his prime, but he only got around to using it now and updating it, then maybe I could see it being like a return to form. But I'm gonna take a while to guess and say that's not the case. And even then, like, just because you write something at your prime doesn't mean it'll automatically be good. Like, you know RoboCop? Frank Miller actually wrote the script for the for all three movies, but the thing is, as I was saying, like, the thing is in RoboCop 3's case, well, it was, like, critically panned, and also it was a very questionable idea since, well, if you don't know, it was based on, like, an earlier script for RoboCop 2. Yeah, like, honestly, I do think that, like, I don't think that, like, he was, like, a super big betrayal like everyone, but he like was doing things as he like betrayed everyone, like everyone seems to think he is. Like, people do change over time, so although the fact that like he was his wife doesn't exactly have the best public image doesn't help. Like, I think that what should have happened was like he should have gradually transitioned into like a different kind of content. Like, maybe perhaps instead of going after of just like dropping content cop altogether, he like starts calling out more vague people for like more vague reasons. And then, and like eventually he say, I just realized that this isn't like content cop, so you know what? I think since I've changed, I just think I'm gonna move on. Although oddly enough, I'd say that there's a decent chance that even if if like he did keep up with the old content cop style, he probably would have like had a bit of a fall from grace anyways. I mean, look at Epic Mealtime. Like, I'm pretty sure they kept on like posting in like the old videos, but people eventually lost interest. Yeah, like what Joji did. It like the thing is, it is possible for like a channel like still remain popular without, or even if their content changes and they like reduce uploads. Like, I'm pretty sure Captain Sparkles is still respected. Like, I'm gonna have to start, like, mixing in non-VTuber videos every now and then. And as in, like, non-VTuber scripted stuff. Like, I'll still continue to stream unless, like, I join an agency and they like, restrict me from doing streams and whatnot, but would be okay with me continuing to make scripted stuff, which honestly would be, like, my dream position. Like, Andreas retires from streaming, but continues to make essays, sort of thing.
Regret banning vodka. Because now we can't
Excuse me a second. I think I got something in my eye that I need to go wash off. My next video... I almost forgot. My next video is actually going to be on someone who isn't a VTuber, although admittedly, this one was not entirely my idea. Well, okay, like, the specific topic was, but, like, the person... Like, the general idea was not.
Hey, this is a strange place. See you.
I'm gonna just be making fun of a person, so... And it's someone you won't feel bad at, like, when I mock, like... It is someone who's, like, bigger than me, but not significantly. Like, I'm not gonna be picking a fight with someone like PewDiePie. Honestly, like, maybe if, like, this was when all, like, the controversies happened, I might make a content cop on him or something, but... I'm not gonna do anything right now, especially since, honestly, it just feels like he's kind of, like, just mellowed out. Like, honestly, I think his problem is he really doesn't think about, like, the impact of what he says. It does not. Like, honestly, Darkside Phil, I kind of feel is, like, just a bit boring. And honestly, like, I want to do more like a content cop. Like, there is one hypothetical scenario I would be okay with doing a video on Darkside Phil, and that would be if, like, I somehow met him IRL and got to, like, interview him, which is more likely than you think, since, well, I actually happen to live in the same city as him. You know what? On second thought, that stash.
Just like on the mainland. Yeah, but these cats prefer human flesh. Captain.
Was not worth it. There's actually two videos that aren't VTuber related that I have in mind. One of which I'm, like, finalizing a script on, and the other, I'll actually give you, like, a brief summary as to here. Like, it's basically calling out Sargon of Akkad.
Scare all my game away. You're making more noise than a pseudo-giant. Get to the observation post on the double, and quit stomping around like that.
Not really familiar with it, but honestly, I'd be actually doing something more like Willie Mack Show's content audit of the quartering, as opposed to a content cop video. But anyways, the idea I don't have much on is, well, a script would be on Sargon of Akkad, and a really stupid take he has on nu metal. Like, you might have seen that tweet he made where he was, like, reminiscing on how things used to be better in the past, and he was, quote, tweeting an Alien Ant Farm music video. That's the one that I'm talking about.
Hey, trying to ruin my hunt, are you?
I hear you used to work.
Yeah, I did. I sent him to a snork cave. All I had to do was hit a...
So what kind of...
Something for the Sultan. He asked us to
Can you give me the...
What's the point? Sure, you can have it.
What?
The creature's here.
Now what was that?
What the?
You know what? It's not that far back. Like, the thing that at Sargon of Akkad and, well, any other white nationalists who, like, made similar posts don't get is that, well, nu metal is not a genre that returns to tradition. Like, if anything, it's probably the closest thing to a DEI metal genre. No, really, like, compare it to, like, if you want an example, I'd argue that nu metal during the 90s occupied a very similar position to hair metal during the 80s. Namely, both very commercially successful genres that somewhat fell out of favor for the next decade, although did make a comeback like in the decade after the next. And hair metal and nu metal both inspired or counter or genre or reactionary, or what I like to call counter or called reactions in genre reactions rather. Wow, my ears are actually. Give me a second. Can't say I'm surprised by that. Like, Slipknot's been around for a long time, and also they're a pretty popular band. But anyways, where was I? Oh yeah, like in like the genre reaction to hair metal was, well, thrash metal, which was more underground and like was closer to actual metal. Oh, like you had the Big Four or Testament, Exodus, those sorts of bands. I might have thrown in one that was formed after the 80s, but you get my point. Now, you might think that grunge would be the genre reaction to nu metal, but I'd actually argue that grunge is kind of different. Like, it's more like new wave in the age. Namely how, like, it was a cultural phenomenon that, like, wasn't around for as long, but did make a huge impact while it was. I'd argue that the actual genre reaction to nu metal was metalcore. You know, Killswitch Engage, Age, All That Remains, Shadows Fall, those sorts of bands. Bleeding Through is another one. Since, like, similar to thrash metal, it took like a very return to the roots approach. Albeit it was very different route. And incidentally, overall, I'd say that metalcore had more, or much like thrash metal, had more staying power than nu metal.
You don't need it anymore.
For the record, I don't hate nu metal. It's a genre that has its good and bad bands. Like, if you like it, that's perfectly fine. And in fact, I actually like some nu metal bands. Albeit, I prefer the ones that are more classified as alt metal as opposed to like rap metal. Well, but the thing is both new metal and metalcore are not returning to tradition because, well, the thing is,
Stalker, you're gonna scare all my game away. You're making more noise than a pseudo-giant.
they're both entirely new genres. Like,
Post on the double.
returning to
Stomping around like that.
tradition would, like, the funny thing is that grunge, I'd argue, would be the whitest, would be the genre that's more appropriate for, like, a white supremacist like Sargon. Since, well, you can probably think of, like, a few grunge frontmen and who are not male, but I'm willing to bet that the overwhelming majority that you think of are white. And I'm not saying that, like, oh, it's only a white person genre. Like, in theory, like, there is no skin color. Like, outside of maybe some really specific subgenres, there are no, like, rules on what, there are no, like, genres that are, like, are like off limits to people of a certain skin color. Now I'm curious. Like, the only ones I can think of are, well, and I'm reading this off of Reddit, so I don't, oh, no, about, like, there is one who actually came out, who I actually did find that was actually a pretty big influence, called Bam Bam. And it actually had a black woman as a singer, but it never became really popular, unfortunately. There's also King's X, although they actually were formed during the 80s. But, like, in general, when it comes to grunge, most of the musicians are, like, well, white. And I'm not saying that it's, like, a negative if it's just, like, a fact. But the funny thing is that Sargon couldn't really claim grunge as a return to form music, since the thing is, if he was still alive, Kurt Cobain would actually constantly get bashed by people like the Quartering for being woke, because he was actually, like, really progressive on social issues. Like, not just, like, feminism, also gay and trans rights, I think.
Hey,
What do you...
here in the zone, you never know for... Keep your eyes open.
I hear you...
Yeah, I sent him to...
So what...
Some... Yeah. What's the point? Sure, you...
What?
The creatures...
What the?
Like, there is actually one genre Sargon could claim and that would actually, that no one would really disagree with, but, well, he would be going very mask off if he did, since, well, that genre is National Socialist black metal. Also, it's not really one you could really, like, claim with that, oh, things are... I used to listen to Disturbed a lot. Where was I? Oh yeah, like, it's also not exactly, like, a very popular genre, like... Black metal is already, like, kind of niche, and in general, most forms of extreme metal are. I should really get back into listening to more music. Like, at least I should, like, catch up with all the releases by the bands I already am a fan of. I know Dream Theater actually has released a few albums in between, like, 2013 and now. If I was to start making music, I'd probably go with, as odd as this sounds, industrial. Oh, god damn it, that's that one unstash I could not figure out how to get to for the life of me. One of these days, I will figure out how to get to that stash. It's stuff like 9 Inch Nails, KMFMD, KMFDM, not KMFMD.
Take a look.
Not gonna buy it since I actually already have one, and also the Rat King is a better artifact anyways.
What's the... Fuck? Don't you worry about...
Here it is.
There you go.
I'm so sick of sitting on my asshole.
This is an actual product I could buy. If anyone's interested, I'll gladly actually try it on stream. Like,
What's the... I've got enough. So my pal's packing some serious heat. What's the... I've got...
I'm so sick of it.
Well, if you...
Well? That...
Okay.
Your gun is your own...
Perimeter.
You got... Remember...
many of them never got back? 3? 5?
What type of
They're at it all you can
ammo do I not particularly care for?
all the artifacts in the world. And they still wandered off to that dump. I've been there too, you know. Dropped the flashlight. It was switched on. Took forever before I lost sight of it. And they keep going there. As if something is luring them in. Better knock on wood after listening to all that. Leave it up to Jesus.
What's... I've got... What's the... buying?
I want to get my hands on one of those soon.
Good.
Falling down a pipe and sees a bloodsucker.
In case you're wondering what I'm doing here, in Call of Pripyat there was an artifact here. And I want to see if it's still here. If, like, I can get one of my own in this game. perfect condition G36. I'd say this was worth the side trip. So I think I might need to move. That it's approaching the time of year where I might need to move the fan into here, or at the very least crack open a window. And actually, that sounds like a pretty good idea right now. I might just go do that. I will go do that. Ooh. Please tell me I at least got to keep the G36 that was in perfect condition. Honestly, there's one thing I wish that the Stalker games would take from the Fallout games. It's the jury rig system. Basically, what happens is you can... Is like if you have 2 copies of weapon, you can like combine them and you'll get the same weapon but slightly repaired. Now, there is a limit to how much you can repair it this way, but considering that it's pretty common to like find a bunch of like near or broken PM pistols, it would actually go quite a far ways. It's not necessarily like a lyrical style. Like, I guess that industrial rap would be a thing, but I don't know of any industrial rappers. I remember in like the previous 3 games, you could like just like hold the use button down and oh yeah, I remember where this was. This was where I confronted that arms dealer in Call of Pripyat. Or rather, I helped like some loners stop off a sale. Well, that is a big if. Like, I'm not exactly gonna make Is it chomping at the bit to make music? Let me get. Okay, let's drop a save here. And while I'm at it, I'll also take care of some, like... Since I can't get in, I'm just gonna take my frustration out on the windows. I mean, at least I'm not walking away empty-handed, but what determines what is and isn't usable in this game? Because those didn't look those looked pretty much the same as every other, like, medical storage unit. Honestly, I'm not sure. Like,
Talk to our boss.
well, at least I got a marker on the map for this place. Not really sure what you mean by that, but like, I would be opposed to like taking some lessons. I mean, I would not be opposed. I'd probably need some practice. But yeah, like, I do know what you mean, like... I have a shotgun. Why am I using a pistol?
I don't know who you are, Stalker, but you best run. Too close. I thought it was game over for sure.
Clear. Skybase.
You good now, bro? That's what I thought. Two close calls in a minute. Not cool. Fucking snorks, man. You were asking about clear sky. What do you want to know?
You. The night back at the old bridge. You stole my scanner and gave me a hell of a headache.
That's horseshit, man. I ain't been back at the old bridge in a long time. There's all bounce, man. Shit. I'm just a guide. I was only showing the way, all right?
Yeah? To monolithians.
It was a run-of-the-mill job where the customer's kind of shady, all obsessed with a monolith and shit. But I'm not in the business of killing stalkers.
But you are in the business with Faust.
He ain't that bad. Maybe a couple of screws loose, but here in the zone, that don't exactly make him unique. Although, that whole blind thing, I think it's a crock of shit.
That's a pretty stupid take. Any others?
Oh yeah, lots. You, patch me up and I'll share everything.
Stop pretending and get up.
Sure. Fucking swamp.
Why did you decide to work with...
Because he paid me an artifact. Some military-grade weapons, too. Ward shit. I don't know how... You have to calibrate 4 of them to your signal. Any...
Who is this?
A scientist. Very smart guy. He was a clear sky, too. I guess he just couldn't stick around that base anymore. Whatever Faust is doing there...
So what?
We went to the center of the zone to stop S.T.A.L.K.E.R.
Yes.
Then you know there...
How do those beat?
Professor Kalencha mentioned something about them affecting the controlled...
Sorry about that.
Field
Prism
around
Live
Clear
just
Sky
disconnected
base.
on me randomly.
But I never got into that stuff, even though I used to hang out with those Clear Sky scientists. The point is, you can't get to Clear Sky without the map.
All right.
I wouldn't go anywhere near that place. I met a guy once who was as stubborn as you. He had a big... I ain't gonna wish you luck.
I got a new phone, so I think once I own that I want to set up. Well, okay, I actually got it a few days ago, but I finally got the case for it. Is a more accurate thing to say. So I think. What? You mean that fiery thing? That was a snork. Suit with a high degree of psi protection. I think I know what suit we need. A Seva suit. Which means I probably should actually start, like, gathering a lot of money. So I'm either gonna have to, like, start hunting around for more artifacts, or I'm gonna have to, like, start... doing more special owls for... orders for owl. Okay, so as for what wrestling promotion I'd want to partner with, Honestly, I kind of want to like start small before I go with like a big company. So I'd probably, so I guess I'd need to like find some like local, little smaller circle, little small scale ones. Then, and I'd decide. Honestly, if I was to actually try and go and work with like a major league sport, I'd probably choose wiffle ball. With like an official sports league, I'd probably choose wiffle ball, oddly enough. As for if I'd collab with Maury, I mean, if she wanted to, although I don't. Know how. I mean, I know there was that S.T.A.L.K.E.R VTuber who like, I mean, aside from Gura, I can think of like a few other VTubers who've like acted as announcers. Let's see here. S.T.A.L.K.E.R, Corey OG, I think her name is.
Talk to our boss. What's the... I've got... What's the... Bye.
Maybe.
Good. So my pal's packing some serious heat. More guns.
Well, it would. I wouldn't be more like a collab. It would be more like I'd be like the announcer per se. I've come up with some names like.
What's the... Good.
Okay. Need. Your gun is.
I do have names. I'm just waiting for my friend to like come up with a list of like questions and she wants to ask. Like, I'm probably gonna like help my friend.
But this. I've got. What?
Who's there? Yeah, get out already.
Damn, you're good.
So my pal's packing some serious heat. What? Buying. Grabs. One of my most mindful. Well.
usual. It's fine. See ya. They say there are tons of mutants underground, but there's a lot of loot down there too. What the hell?
I can believe that.
Your sea suit's ready, Stalker. Come try it on.
I think I'll see what the psi suit is, then I'll call it a stream.
Need any? You said sure. Rest assured. It's your call. Come get. What you?
About the weapon malfunction and get a replacement from Chornobyl. Assuming he hasn't already. Let's set the record straight. However, since we only have one.
Do you?
Perhaps. If you find out.
Why not?
Do we look like? Besides, once we fix. The subordinate in question is Chornobyl, the quartermaster. Ask him if he needs any help. I bet he'd be happy to. Hurry up.
I'll get involved with the deal and then I'll call it a stream.
Looking for. Do you have a? Sure, I've got a job. What's the? Nothing special, just some surplus. We've never met. They contact. I'm in. Deliver it and make. By the way, the.
The year here ought to count as 2, 3.
Reports of anomalous sea activity should be promptly documented and submitted to Dr. Krivenko. You can find the form and the sample report in the medical log.
I used the wrong exit. You know what? I think I'm going to complete this mission off stream. I have a pork chop I want to make myself, and maybe also...
You need to hang on. This tour is going to be over soon.
Oh, some mashed potatoes. Not sure if...
no cop.
You want to exchange?
Cocky one, ain't ya? All right.
I'm just a...
Well, now you're gonna have... I see you brought the goods. Take the courier out! He ain't no cop.
You want to exchange business?
Cocky one.
Why would a war...
That wouldn't set up a meeting with these. I see you brought the goods. Take the... Cover me!
Let's see here. So far, I'd say that, like, the main complaints I have about Stalker 2, who are, like, minor stuff that were present in the previous games. Like, honestly, I kind of hope that, like, they make... I don't think, like, the intro section had, like, a particularly impacted the story at all, so I would not be opposed to, like, a skip option. In hindsight, maybe I should have, like, saved it.
Back to our conversation. Back to our conversation.
The start for all three, but still, overall, I'd say this is a very fun experience so far.
Come on in.
How did it? Those bastards! I'm closing up shop. This little business venture. Damn. They good. I didn't make.
Oops, just realized I probably loaded a save right after I finished the missions.
Permission.
I've got news.
Report.
The sergeant.
Bandits. Did you get the package back?
Yeah.
Good job, Khocheyev. Permission. Dismissed.
Ask my senior officer.
Sarge! Hey, Sarge! Tell the captain.
Stalker, don't trust anyone around here. They're not real. The real Captain Sienkiewicz is lying over there. He hasn't budged in 3 days. And they drowned Batalov in the swamp to make sure nobody could stop them.
I've been here for 3 years and I can't take it anymore.
When I left Bob, sir, 3 of my patients have run. When you find them, they. That could. I know it, but if we.
How did?
I have no even.
Any?
How the fuck should I know? If I did, I'd find them myself. Maybe go ask the loner, but.
I am going to call it a stream here, since aside from the fact that I do want to do other stuff, honestly, I kind of get the feeling that like some of this stuff would be better handled off stream. Like when I get to the point where I can actually make this a job, I'll just stream this game with fully. Feels odd seeing the Chernobyl reactor with there, and actually I think this is the reactor. This is gonna be fun to go to. But anyways, thanks for tuning in. I'm Andreas Rebel, and I'll see you on my next assignment. Later.